Hi everyone, welcome back to another exciting English lesson. I'm Ethan and I'm here with Chloe as always.
Hello, everyone. We're so happy to have you here today. So, what are we talking about today, Ethan?
Well, today's lesson is all about asking for directions. It's one of the most useful things to know when you're traveling or even just exploring a new neighborhood. Have you ever gotten lost, Chloe?
Oh, yes, many times. But knowing how to ask for directions in English has definitely saved me. I think our students will find this lesson super helpful.
Exactly, so let's dive right in with a quick role play to show you how asking for directions works. Ready, Chloe?
Let's do it. Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to the train station?
Sure. Walk straight down this street for 2 blocks, then turn left at the traffic light. The train station will be on your right.
Thank you. And how long will it take to walk there?
It should take about 10 minutes.
Great, thanks for your help.
You're welcome. Have a good day. That was a pretty simple conversation, right? Asking for directions can be really easy if you know the right phrases to use.
Absolutely. Now let's break it down and talk about some of the important phrases we just heard in the dialogue.
The first phrase we heard was, "Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to the train station?" This is a polite way to ask someone for directions. You'll often hear "excuse me" when people are trying to get someone's attention in a polite way.
Exactly. And it's important to always start with "excuse me" because it sets a polite tone right away. After that, we have "could you tell me how to get to," which is a formal and polite way to ask for directions.
Yes, and another way to ask the same thing is, "Can you tell me the way to," or even "How do I get to?" These are all very useful phrases you can use in different situations.
Exactly. Moving on, we heard "walk straight down this street for 2 blocks." This means to continue walking in a straight line without turning for 2 blocks.
And a block is the distance between two intersections in a city. In many cities, people use blocks to describe distances. So, if someone tells you to walk 2 blocks, it means you'll pass by 2 streets before you need to turn or stop.
Then Ethan said, "Turn left at the traffic light." When you hear "turn left" or "turn right," it tells you which direction to go. And remember, traffic light is another way to refer to the signal lights at an intersection. Some people may also say stoplight, which is the same thing.
Good point, Chloe. Finally, we heard, "The train station will be on your right." This is how you can tell someone where a place is located relative to their position.
And don't forget, if the place is on the opposite side, you can say, "It's on the left." These small details help make your directions clearer and more accurate.
Now let's talk about some other useful words and phrases related to asking for and giving directions. Chloe, what's a phrase you often hear when people give directions?
One of the most common phrases is "go straight." This just means to continue walking or driving in the same direction without turning.
Right, and what about when someone says cross the street?
That's a great one. Cross the street means to go from one side of the road to the other, usually at a crosswalk or intersection.
Perfect. And let's not forget take the first right or take the second left. These are phrases you might hear when someone tells you which turn to take. The first or second refers to how many streets or intersections you pass before turning.
Exactly. These small phrases can make a big difference when you're navigating in a new place.
Now let's practice. I'm going to give you some different situations and I want you to think about how you would ask for directions. Ready?
Let's start with the first one. You're in a big shopping mall and you're trying to find the restroom. What could you say?
You could say, "Excuse me, can you tell me where the restroom is?" or "How do I get to the restroom?"
Great. Now imagine you're in a new city and you want to find a famous museum. What would you ask?
You might say, "Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to the museum?" or "Can you tell me the way to the museum?"
Excellent. Now let's do one more. You're trying to find a bus stop. What would you ask?
You could say, "How do I get to the bus stop?" or "Can you tell me where the bus stop is?" Easy, right?
Super easy. Now let's switch it up. This time we'll give you the directions and you need to follow along. Ethan, why don't you give them the first set of directions?
Sure, imagine you're at the park and you want to get to a coffee shop nearby. Here are the directions. Walk straight for 1 block, turn right at the corner, and the coffee shop will be on your left.
Okay, did everyone get that? Now it's your turn. Ethan, how about we give them one more practice?
Of course, let's say you're trying to get to the library. The directions are, go straight for 3 blocks, then turn left at the traffic light. The library is next to the post office on the right.
Great job, everyone. It's always important to practice so you feel confident when you're out and about asking for directions.
Now, how about we flip things around? I'll ask for directions and you'll give them. Ready, Chloe?
Let's do it. So, Ethan, let's say you're lost and trying to find the nearest supermarket. What would you ask?
I'd say, excuse me, could you tell me how to get to the nearest supermarket?
Great. Now I'd reply, sure. Walk straight for 2 blocks, turn left at the second traffic light, and the supermarket will be right in front of you.
Perfect. Now it's your turn. Let's imagine you're trying to get to the cinema.
I'd ask, how do I get to the cinema?
And I'd answer, go straight for 3 blocks, then take the second right. The cinema is next to the big shopping mall. Before we go, let's quickly review the key phrases we learned today. Chloe, want to help me out?
Sure. First, we learned how to politely ask for directions using phrases like, excuse me, could you tell me how to get to? Or, can you tell me the way to?
Then we talked about giving directions like, walk straight for 2 blocks and turn left at the traffic light.
And finally, we learned how to say where something is, like, it's on your right or it's on your left.
Exactly. Remember, asking for and giving directions is something you'll use often when you're traveling or exploring new places, so it's a great skill to practice.
That's right. So don't be afraid to ask for directions the next time you're out. People are usually happy to help.
Thanks for joining us today, everyone. Keep practicing, and we'll see you in the next lesson.